Who's your evaluator?
Me. Yes. It's 8 to 10 minutes for our timer. When I first started at Toastmasters, and I met people who were of this strange thing called DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster, as I found out later, I thought they were like these mythical, distant people on some high mountaintop, right? And I, of course, as an ordinary person that you were talking about, had no chance of ever getting there. And there were two obstacles. One, to actually dedicate a year of my life to being a district officer. And the second was the high performance leadership, the HPL. Now, I did manage to overcome the year of dedication to being a district officer because I had a mentor whose size 5 boots were steady, moving me forward. But the HPL was a mystery for the longest time. And once I finally accomplished it, I realized, wow, this is a fantastic program. It's one of the best things in Toastmasters. How many of you are familiar with it, HPL, High Performance Leadership? Besides the fact that you needed to become a DTM, it's this incredible opportunity to practice leadership skills or develop leadership skills by picking a project, planning it out, recruiting people, a team, and then getting mentors to help coach you through the process. Simple as that. It can be at work, church, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Toastmasters, whatever. Just a project where you can practice your skills and to become a better leader. So I got my DTM, and this area has a very odd phenomenon that I don't think exists in any other district in Toastmasters, and that's the multiple DTMs. When I know 2 people, I think I believe each of these ladies have 5 DTMs.
Oh. Whoa.
Yes. Believe me, this is no place else other than this goal-oriented, success-driven valley that we live in. But, so here I am. I've got one, now I'm going for number 2. But I was stuck once again on, guess what? HPL. What was I going to do? What would my project be? And I'm thinking about it for months and months and months. And funny enough, the answer was there all the time. Youth leadership. I've been doing youth leadership groups for 8 years. But I never thought of actually making it a focused goal to reach out until talking with Rita. And she asked me to take on this project. I thought about it for a little, really short amount of time, knowing that I have a burning desire to get the word out to Toastmasters about this incredible program that we have. So I said yes. So here I am. And in my project for this coming year, for this year, I have a couple of goals. One, to make the program known. That's why I went to 4 TLIs in July. And hopefully I'll get to go in January. To tell Toastmasters about this incredible program. And it's not some big mystical thing. It's something that you probably do, some of you anyway, do all the time if you have children. Talk to them, teach them, train them in the way, as the Bible says, the way they should go. When they're old, they won't depart from it. Teaching kids to be leaders and communicators. Is that not a worthy goal? Because think about it. Kids, try as it sounds, are our future. And looking around the room, we all look like fairly mature individuals. Think about 20 years, 30 years, 40 years down the road, and the question of health care for the elderly comes up. Medicare, Medi-Cal, all those things, Social Security. Do you know who's going to be making those decisions when you're hitting 50, 60, 70, 80? The kids that you didn't have time for today, that you have no connection with today, will be deciding whether you get health care or you get put on an ice floe and pushed out to sea. So yes, youth leadership I felt was important to get the word out. So that's what I've been doing, talking to Toastmasters. The other thing I've discovered is that there is no end to the supply. I thought it would be an issue trying to find kids, parents, guardians, and so forth, who would actually be interested in putting their kids in some stranger's hands for an hour a week for 8 weeks, teaching them public speaking. what I've discovered is I can't keep up with the number of parents who want their kids to develop an edge that's going to help them in life. I have now, 4 groups in process. Elaine, this wonderful man in the front row, is going to be starting a group on November 30th. He's going to be working with younger kids who are emotionally disturbed. They're in special classes in school because they need to learn how to manage their anger appropriately. A challenge for him. I have another group. Actually, these are adults, but they fall into the Gavel Club youth leadership format. In prison, or in county jail. Men on one side, women on the other. Once again, needing to learn to express themselves appropriately. So that is the first goal. Make it known to Toastmasters. Give them an opportunity to take part in changing young people's lives, which I find really thrilling and exciting. And hopefully as I talk to people, they'll catch the fever too. Second, of course, is actually organizing the group or helping Toastmasters organize groups on their own. Finally, and this is probably the biggest challenge for me because I'm old. I'm not a young person. I'm not techie, technical, whatever, geeky, even though I work down here in the valley. I pay for the stuff that many of you develop. And the idea of getting on like social media, like becoming a friend of Facebook, all that other stuff is like, oh, terrifying. Because I just know I'm going to hit some button and send my name, address, social security number, phone number, family history, medical, out to the entire world. And of course, once things are out there, they never come back, or at least not in a good way. So that's another challenge for me. And over this year is to learn how to use social media, which really is, it's not even the wave of the future because it's here today, to help promote what I think is one of the most important things that I've done in my life, reaching young kids. And in keeping with that, not only reaching out to let people know the program is here, but hopefully to touch Toastmasters that I won't meet. I can only meet a limited number of people. And even if I talk to, one club a week until July, that's still just barely scratching the surface of the people out there who might be willing to help if they just knew this was available. So I'm going to ask you for a favor. I have this little card, and it says, Toastmasters Youth Leadership. And what's the tagline for our new branding for Toastmasters?
Where leaders are made.
Where leaders are made. Well, this card says, where, in parentheses, future leaders are made. Future leaders are made. So that's sort of our tagline for youth leadership this year. And then it says, help change young lives. Because just the way your life has been changed by Toastmasters, when you've developed confidence, imagine a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old learning that instead of like me, waiting until you're in your late 40s to be able to speak in front of a group and present yourself in an intelligent, articulate way without mumble, which is kind of what I did before. And then on the back it says Youth Leadership, 8 weeks to change young lives. And here's the icing on the cake, the cherry on the sundae. Get credit towards your AC Gold. Your Advanced Communicator Gold requires you to put on some sort of a leadership seminar or conduct a youth leadership or speechcraft. So here's a golden opportunity. Help kids, therefore helping our communities and our country, our families. Help yourself get toward that magical, mystical goal of becoming an ETM. So I'm going to ask, if you will, I'm going to pass these around, if you'll take 2 cards, one for yourself and one to pass out to one other person. Don't prejudge who the person is because you never know who's going to be interested. Just hand them the card. My contact information is on the back, d4.yl.gavelclubs@gmail.com. I will respond to every request and do my best to work with the person, to either find a club or a child or to help a Toastmaster start a club. I need your help. Are you willing to do that for me? For our
Yes.
kids, for Toastmasters? I'd appreciate it. And I'll just start these down the aisle. And I want to thank you for your kind attention. I want to thank you for your help in the future. What you've heard today, appreciate spreading the word. And that's my HPO project for 2011-2012. Madam Toastmaster.
All right.